We see the immediate pivot into Pidgeot baiting out Clodsire. The thing with Pidgeot users is they love to bait, and Clodsires love to call baits. King gonna shield up the Stone Edge, the opponent with 2 Protect Shields, 2 hard beyond, but King falls into the Brave Bird. Does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel. Today is League Rotation Day. That means 2 things. YouTube is going to be littered with practice battles and these really long, boring videos with top teams for the up-and-coming cups. I personally hate both of them style videos. I just want to watch some actual battles, usually while I'm drinking morning coffee or perhaps doing some chores that my missus has set me, but we won't go into that. On this channel, I don't really care about views. I know these videos always perform poorly, but if you actually want to see some battles, I've got you. And today we have a banger of a battle submission from none other than my good friend, King GBL. King is a fantastic content creator in his own right, amply better than me. You can see he's put this video together, hence it looks a lot more professional than the normal, very poor editing that I put out. So today I'm going to ask 2 things of you. If you are not already following King, his link down below, give him a sub. He is well worth it. Very funny and very good at battling. Secondly, if you are one of the few people that are going to watch this video, despite it being from the Sunshine Cup, give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. We're going to keep the intro short and sweet. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, King seems somewhat of a tricky lead. His team is ABA weak to ice, but both Hippowdon and Pidgeot can hit back against Abomasnow for super effective. Speaking of which, we land that rock type weather. We'll see the save switch into Pidgeot. Pidgeot going to block up the incoming weather ball, and out comes the Quagman. Pidgeot going to go straight for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace, a move I normally call Aerial Ass, are very underwhelming, but Shadow Pidgeot gets both same type attack bonus and Shadow bonus on top of that, meaning it does some actual alright damage. The opponent going to be spamming out Aqua Tail after Aqua Tail. King happy to let Pidgeot go down and sees the opportunity to send out his own Snowman and get a very nice running start. The opponent sends out Swampert. The opponent try their luck catching back onto Abomasnow. King like, nah, I'm far smarter than that. Farms it down and the opponent like, ugh, you've got me, and they concede the match. In the next battle, we've got some Shadow and Shadow Crime, very much in the opponent's favour. We see the immediate pivot into Pidgeot. The opponent fires off the Aqua Tail, and out comes the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death. King fires off the Aerial Ace, forcing a Protect Shield. King only has to survive 2 Incinerates here to reach the next Aerial Ace. Due to the fact that's 12 turns into 15 turns, you can see Pidgeot putting in so much work, able to get Talonflame down to a sliver of HP. It's very nice to bait this Talonflame out. Now Abomasnow doesn't have to see it. King able to shield up the Brave Bird, commit to the Sand Attack farm down, and back out comes the Quagman. Quagsire usually advantageous, but we've got an Energy Leaf. King fires off the Scorching Sand, securing the knockout. Out comes Flygon. We show him Abomasnow, and that's going to be all she wrote. In the next battle, finally our hungry hippo sees the lead it's dreaming of, the snail. The opponent says no thank you, save switch into Jumpluff, and we answer with Abomasnow. Jumpluff, an insanely bulky Pokemon, able to tank the double super effective Weather Ball and actually win the 0 shields, which is pretty sad to see. I understand why King opted to no shield there, as most Jumpluff are running Aerial Ace, and you don't really want to give the snail a shield advantage against this squishy triple Shadow team. King has lost switch, but he's doing his best to make a play and getting back into this battle. He's able to catch the Seed Bomb onto Pidgeot, baiting back out that ever annoying snail. King gonna YOLO the Brave Bird. Brave Bird supposed to be resisted. Did that look resisted? No, it did not. Back out comes Hippowdon, going straight for the Weather Ball, looking to remove the snail from the field of play. The opponent invests that Protect Shield. King kind of forced to respect a potential OV, and of course the opponent bait with that ever annoying Rock Tomb, lowering our attack, but undeterred Hippowdon fires off the next Weather Ball, securing the knockout. We find ourselves in the 1-to-1 shield. King gonna be forced to shield up the incoming Seed Bomb, and it's gonna be a race. Not only is it a race, we're going to need a debuff Weather Ball to knock out. This first Weather Ball forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We reach the next one, but the question is it enough to knock out? Yes, it is. What a win. GG's King. Very, very well played game. In the next battle, again, we see that tricky Abomasnow lead. Last time King was able to overcome this tough lead. Let's see if it's going to be a case of deja vu. Hippowdon able to outpace to the Rock-type Weather Ball. Again, we see the pivot into Pidgeot, sneaking the Gust in the process. King shields up the Weather Ball. The opponent looks to stay and looks to reach another Weather Ball. And unfortunately, this is going to do so much damage. Pidgeot just about able to hang on, but we leave insanely low. Out comes the Quagman. The opponent going to be unable to Mudshot farm us down before the Brave Birds reach. And King does force that Protect Shield back. It's very nice of the opponent not to commit to the resisted mud shot farm down, as we haven't really got any great way of tanking energy from Quagsire. King reveals his third, sending out the snowman. King invests the protect shield, blocking up the sludge bomb. So all you know what this team is a team that my friend Conviper was able to hit legend with. If you want to see the team, Yasa did shoutcast it. Both of these mod boys are running poison type coverage for any potential grass types. It's going to be quite a tricky endgame. King forces the protect shield, pivots out into Hippowdon, looking to force the energy. Can Swampert still reach the sludge wave required to win this battle? I think they're short here. Are they short? It's just the Hydro Cannon Abomasnow, withstands the damage, leaves with the Weather Ball, and King picks up the dub. GG's, and thanks for playing. And it looks like that is the end of the first set. As I said, King put this video together for me, so I have no idea how many battles we've got or where we're at, but that looks like we're just shy of expert rank. In the next battle, dreadful lead. Despite us hard losing lead, we've got two answers for a potential grass type. I quite like this team building from King. We say switch into Pidgeot, we're able to correctly shield the Ice Beam as well, and now potentially can flip this matchup. King fires off the Aerial Ace, the opponent choose not to invest the protect shield, but King doubled up, fires off the next Aerial Ace, the opponent completely sacked with Cow, and out comes Oranguru. It now becomes apparent why the opponent didn't fight particularly hard for switch advantage, as this Oranguru will certainly be running Trailblaze, so unfortunately Hippowdon has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Hippowdon, being a mono ground type, unlike Mud Boys, is able to survive a one Trailblaze, not particularly well, and these boosted confusions are certainly going to be something we don't appreciate. The opponent lost track of energy, invested the final protect shield, blocking up the incoming rock type Weather Wall. It's now all down to Abomasnow to clean up. I really don't understand that bait there from the opponent. Trailblaze is not only resisted, but costs more energy. Why did you not just throw the boosted Brutal Swing? The opponent sends back out Whimsicott, recognise they're going to get farmed down, and concede the match. In the next battle, great lead. The opponent safe switches into Cradilly, and we respond with Abomasnow. If I was to run Cradilly this season, I used to run this back in the early seasons when it didn't even have access to Rock Slide. I would be running Stone Edge. You can see the nerfed variant of Rock Slide just doesn't hit hard enough, even when it's hitting super effective. Although the regular variant of Cradilly, unlike the Shadow, fairly bulky, able to survive a Weather Wall and still force himself a shield advantage in the mid game. Back out comes Mancargo. We're going to fire off the Energy Ball, which hits for neutral, and a lot of neutral damage at that. The opponent pivots into Superior, aka the Grass Snake, and we send out Pidgeot. And this is a classic case of what I like to call RPS for the win, baby. Our win come from here is a straightforward fast move beatdown. We're just going to fast move beatdown Superior, Brave Bird immediately, minimizing the farm this Snail can get. The Snail is unable to hold two charge moves. This is almost certainly a Rock Tomb bait, but no bait. We'll be saving this opponent's fate as Sand Attacks are double super effective. We're going to Sand Attack farm down and emerge victorious. GG's. In the next battle, we see yet another Snail in the lead. This thing is here, there, and everywhere. The opponent safe switches into Jump Bluff, and we respond with Abomasnow. The opponent doesn't even look to bait a potential acrobatic, so King can now overfarm, throw the Weather Ball on the charge attack priority, and the Powder Stones have now put this into Weather Ball range. The opponent doesn't look to make a play at switch advantage, instead send back out the Snail and look to get some energy together. The opponent now at 2 Incinerates. We send out Hippowdon. What is going on? Hello game. I have no idea if the opponent got any quick moves through. I think we are actually both frozen there. I think it's safe to say the lag was experienced by both trainers, as King still has the same amount of HP he should have had, which means the opponent didn't just farm us down, which is often the case with this terrible game at times. Out comes Whimsicott. King shields up the Moonblast. He's going to fully gust farm down. Back out comes the Snail. King actually going for a very cheeky masturbating session, knowing the opponent kind of forced to shield everything. The opponent actually called the bait, but they still get resisted gust farm down, and Pidgeot is a Snail counter confirmed. You heard it here first. Heading into the next battle. Wish Daddy Cash. It's going to be a no thank you from King. A safe switch into Pidgeot, baiting out Clodsire. It's kind of a 50-50. Do they have Stone Edge? Do they have Sludge Bomb? King gonna respect the potential Stone Edge and a good shield. The thing is, Clodsires love to call baits and Pidgeots love to bait. We fall send the Brave Bird. The opponent fucked about. They found out, and just like that, switch advantage is ours. But Pidgeot still not done. Wish Cash going to be unable to mud shot farm us down. They can't even mud bomb. They still need to full send a Scald or even a Blizzard if that is their second move. The Scald does secure the knockout, but the damage is done. What is on my screen? Shadow Dart Manatan. Very cool spice, but this spice pick makes a very brief cameo appearance. Sand attack farm down from full health. I'm going to say a huge GG's because I love that team. But King able to emerge victorious. In the next battle, we see yet another Abomasnow. We've seen this one play out before. I think the key to running a team successfully is having a plan. You can see King always fires off the rock type weather ball and then sends out his Pidgeot. This trainer, unlike all the others, actually shielded up the rock type weather ball, but King stuck to the game plan, sending out Pidgeot, once again baiting out Quagsire. As we've only got one Protect Shield each to hide behind King, falls into the Brave Bird, securing the knockout. Out comes Flygon, even with a heavily debuffed defense, Pidgeot able to withstand the Dragon Tail, reach the Aerial Ace. King now sends out his own Abomasnow, blink, and you might miss it. Flygon gets deleted in the blink of an eye, and it's just the opponent's low health Abomasnow in a 2v1 scenario. King doesn't shield up the weather ball, returns fire with his own weather ball, which of course the opponent's kind of forced to shield. The opponent looking for that Powder Snow farm down, which we're unable to get. We reach one further weather ball and take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see a grass type in the lead. Not fantastic by any means. We see the save switch into Pidgeot, baiting out Dunsparce. Looks like King is going to fight for switch advantage. We are going to need to land a Brave Bird. However, King actually just opts to go for the Aerial Ace this time, perhaps not wanting to debuff his own defense. We actually forced the Protect Shield there, and you can see these gust damage might enable Pidgeot just to go straight Aerial Ace in this matchup. King again going to farm up to the Brave Bird bait with the Aerial Ace. Is the opponent willing to go all shields down? Yes, they are. The opponent, able to outpace. This now puts us in a very tricky spot. King sends out Hippowdon. Hippowdon just going to commit to the sand attack farm down. And we essentially need a Abomasnow to be good against the lead and whatever's in the back. Hippowdon looking for that sand attack farm down, which we're actually unable to get before the opponent reaches the back-to-back drill runs. The opponent actually aggressively send back out Superior looking for the snipe, and we send out Abomasnow. Aerial Ace does like 50% of our HP. King over farms before firing off the weather ball. Come on, show me a mud boy. You know you've got a Swampert in the back. That isn't a Swampert, but it is still playable. Clodsire going to be taken super effective from Ice. But even the Shadow variant of Abomasnow is going to be unable to two-shot. However, as the opponent switch lock, I don't think their switch timer's up. King sends out Hippowdon, ensures he sees the Poison Sting come through. Scorching Sand secures the knockout, and we sand attack farm down Dunsparce and take that game. As mentioned in the intro, King is a very elite trainer. He's a frequent leaderboarder, and he displayed very high gameplay IQ in that battle. Two plays I'm actually going to break down. The first one was him anticipating the opponent looking to snipe all of his Hippowdon's energy. One Vine Whip would have knocked this out, so King instant swapped, anticipating that play. The endgame was also very well played. We had the Scorching Sand banked. Of course, the tendency would be to spam the move. However, King, recognising the opponent's switch timer could have been up, waited for the Poison Sting to start, ensuring the Scorching Sand landed on Clodsire and wasn't caught. Very well played, buddy. I always preach on this channel, if you want to hit Legend, you need to throw your charge moves at good timing. For example, 2-turn into 3-turn at 1, 4 or 7. And you also need good energy management. However, to be an elite battler, you need even more skill than that. You need to be able to anticipate plays and be disciplined and wait turns, etc. In true Jamie Finn fashion, I've got massively distracted, going off on a mad tangent. I have no idea what's going on in this battle, but it looks like King trying to sand attack farm down Licky. Far too thicky, old baby. Out comes the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Bird of Death. This rock type weather was double super effective. Abomasnow can now come in. Powder Snow farm down his nemesis Talonflame, and we're able to take that game. In the next battle, we see a dreadful lead with Hippowdon into Superior. In this battle, we save switch Pidgeot, which is hard countered by Dunsparce, and Jamie Finn isn't going to get distracted and try and have a better attention span than that of a Goldfish. We've already seen that King is going to look to make a play at switch advantage here. Again, we get the successful Aerial Ace bait onto this Dunsparce. King going to be happy to go all shields down. Last time we saw, we wasn't able to win the 2 shield, but King did emerge victorious. Let's see if this opponent does fight for switch. Unlike the last opponent, this opponent just happy to concede switch advantage, which is best case scenario. Out comes the Quagman. Quagsire gives up that final Protect Shield, blocking up the Aerial Ace, and they're still going to be forced to throw. Despite being able to take back switch, we're not quite out of the woods yet, as Quagsire can near one-shot Abomasnow if they're running Stone Edge, and even an Aqua Tail does massive damage to Hippowdon. King just needs to be careful of the opponent trying to make a catch. No catch is attempted. Hippowdon going to be removing Quagsire from the field of play, and the endgame is very straightforward from here. Superior going to be getting a very harsh reminder of why I call Aerial Ace Aerial Ass. King can then overfarm, trap the opponent into the CMP tie. They do not win, and at this point Weather Ball will be enough to secure the dub. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle this time we see Dunsparce in the lead. This is essentially where the team wants to see it, as Hippowdon is the only member of the team that doesn't take super effective from the move rollout or rock in general. Hippowdon tanks the drill run, looks to return fire with the Scorching Sands, but what a catch that was. Holy cow, the opponent made a savage catch onto Jumpluff. I didn't even see that switched in. King counter swapped his Abomasnow instantly, and that Jumpluff was straight in and straight out, making a very brief cameo appearance. Back out comes Dunsparce. King once again going for the harder hitting move, firing off the Energy Ball. Energy Ball goes unshielded. King now sends out Hippowdon. I think we could go for the one shield and stand attack farm down, but it looks like he's actually just going to tank the damage and save 2 shields for Pidgeot. That certainly proved to be the correct play, as the opponent showed us Whimsicott and then very quickly surrendered the match. Heading into the next battle, we see Abomasnow in the lead. King actually switching up this time, making the instant pivot into Pidgeot. The opponent stays in, looking to force himself an early shield advantage, but at what cost? The opponent actually completely sack Abomasnow and then send out the Quagman. I'm really not sure on that play from the opponent. King gonna YOLO the Brave Bird. Brave Bird forces the Protect Shield. The opponent's still gonna have a very tough time. A Mudshot farmless down. King reaches the Aerial Ace, forcing the opponent all shields down. In this very limited Sunshine Cup meta, I think it's safe to assume the opponent is running double Mud Boys, as we've seen numerous times in today's video. If King's making the same assumption as me, I would not be surprised to see Hippowdon completely sacked, just operating as the damage sponge. That's the play we do see King make. The opponent dumps all their energy, firing off Aqua Tail after Aqua Tail. We show him Abomasnow, and the opponent does top left. And of course, I'm calling Swampert in the back. Heading into the next battle, we see Hippowdon into Abomasnow. Is this going to be yet another double Mud Boy team? We see King going back to his original strategy of firing off the Rock type Weather Ball, looking to do some decent chip damage or force us early shield advantage. We again do say switch into Pidgeot. It's interesting though that this opponent didn't go for the chip and dip, instead opting to hold their energy. King correctly shields up the Stone Edge, the Gust tearing through Quagsire, enabling Pidgeot to just go straight Aerial Ace all the way. The first one forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Pidgeot says there's plenty more of where that came from, forcing the opponent all shields down. The opponent goes for the Aqua Tail bait, and I love this pivot. King then sends back out Hippowdon, recognising Pidgeot going to be very good into the entirety of this team. The opponent sends out Abomasnow, try and snipe Hippowdon, but the hungry Hippo says no. Reads the Rock type Weather Ball, removing Abomasnow from the field of play. The opponent reveals their third, not to be a Mud Boy as I expected, but it is still a ground type. In fairness, at least Abomasnow hits Clodsire for super effective while taking super effective in return. The opponent throws after only 6 Poison Stings, so this will be a Sludge Bomb, which King is going to shield. We're then just going to be mindful of the opponent trying to make a catch. King again being very disciplined, pausing a turn, ensuring the Weather Ball does land onto Clodsire. Back out comes its cousin Quagsire. We snipe with one Gust and take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see a blast from the past. Obstagoon in the lead. Counter used to be the best quick move in the game. Sucker Punch is now a former Counter clone, and Counter is now somewhat underwhelming with quite poor energy generation. Obstagoon used to be one of the spammiest counter users you could possibly use. It's got 2 35 energy charge moves that are used to receive after only 5 counters. It's now straight 6s to them moves, and that pacing is just huge in this really spammy meta. Hippowdon able to win the 0 shield scenario. We then see the pivot into Pidgeot. King not wanting to give the opponent any free farm. The opponent fires off the Aqua Tail. King actually gets baited twice with Aqua Tail. I'm not even sure they had the energy for the Stone Edge the second time, but regardless, King looks to keep his Pidgeot healthy. He's able to reach the Aerial Ace. The first Aerial Ace forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. The opponent opts to double shield. We then try our luck catching onto Hippowdon unsuccessfully. The opponent quickly recognises Mudshot farming down would be a tough task. They do opt to dump energy regardless. We should be able to Powder Snow farm this Quagsire down before they reach the potential Stone Edge required to pick up that knockout. The opponent recognises they're going to get farmed down. Send out Clodsire. Let's check the moveset. If they're on Stone Edge, we are in trouble. The opponent throws the Sludge Bomb. That means I'm like 95% sure they haven't got a Stone Edge. I've seen a couple of people run Sludge Bomb and Stone Edge, which is quite an interesting moveset, but I think you really do need that Earthquake nuke. We're able to fully Gust farm down, leaving with the Brave Bird, but even an Air Release from this range is going to be all she wrote. GG's. Heading into the final battle of today's video. I assume this is a bonus battle as we've got the team in a different order. And my god, is that a core breaker? Oof, these Force Palms are tearing our poor Abomasnow apart. Abomasnow able to force the Protect Shield. We then see the snipe with Pidgeot. The trainer must be so salty. Out comes Typhlosion to greet our Pidgeot. This opponent, evidently a Spice Lord, and I love to see it. King shields up the Thunder Punch, goes for the correct 1 Gust and the Charge move. That is 4 turns into 5 turns, only giving the opponent 1 free turn. The opponent sends out another Shadow Pokemon in the form of Quagsire, but this Quagsire just cannot 1v3 our team. King sends out Hippowdon. Hippowdon isn't going to get knocked out by 1 Aqua Tail, and the opponent's going to be forced to shield up the Scorching Sands or get 1-shot. We've already shown Abomasnow, so this probably goes unshielded. The opponent gets nuked through the Protect Shield, and we take that game. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's showcase. Firstly, I'd like to say a huge thank you to King GBL, not only for showcasing these battles, but also putting this video together. I mean, I only had to add commentary. He's a fantastic content creator. Make sure you go check him out. However, if you're enjoying my content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.